I want you to go to cyber-thingy.com, cyber-thingy.com, and with respect to sort of how times are changing. I can't remember personally the last time I actually wrote a check for personal bills. Everything is paid either online or an automatic withdrawal, or even sending my girls who are both in college to sending them to Western Union, or sending them to the cell phone store to get their issues fixed is turning into a hassle nowadays. Well, one such company has sort of resolved that problem. It's called Cyber Kiosk Solutions. They've got the Cyber Thingy. It's a self-service bill payment and financial product solution. I want to make sure you understand it's not just bill pay, and it's not just financial products. We've had these guys on a number of times, and I get a ton of email when they come on the air, and most recently, I had a couple of market makers actually talk to me when we really framed them as the premier money remittance and bill pay center in the U.S. Once again, with us is Manelis with Cyber Kiosk. Now, by the way, their stock symbol is CYBK, and of course the website cyber-thingy.com. Oren, you guys are ahead of the curve here once again, and I want to just take a few minutes, because for the people that haven't heard you before, to maybe talk about exactly what you guys do, because I think just the one sentence doesn't really cover it. When I call you guys the premier money remittance and bill pay center in the U.S., that encompasses a little bit of what you do. Tell us about the whole story.
Well, we try to cover as many financial services as we can. Obviously, money remittance is a big one that we cover into about 80 different countries right now. Obviously, bill pay you've mentioned a couple of times. We also do debit card sales, debit card loads. We do phone top-up domestically, internationally. We do gift card solutions for 3,000 retailers. But our biggest program that we've had our success in the last 10 years is linking families around the world to the U.S. through a banking relationship. So people here can have a card, or at least a banking relationship through our system, where they can send money to friends and family abroad to help them pay for bills, and not just to send money through a Western Union where they have to chase the money down the other end. It goes straight to their bank account, or straight to a debit card account where they can use those things in their local networks overseas.
Well, and interestingly enough, keep in mind, bill pay. You've got the ability to send money, but then you also have you can buy prepaid MasterCard on there. You can load your debit card on there. You can buy SIM cards on there. You can activate cell phones on there. I mean, there's something, I don't remember the exact number of services, but it gets into the hundreds of services you guys can provide there. It is really one of those issues where you're going to see these things in shopping malls and in grocery stores, whereby you're turning a one-stop into a one-stop solution for everything. Talk to us a little bit about the back end of this, Oren, because all of those services, with respect to, let's say, sending money, or respecting to loading a debit card, or respect to buying a MasterCard, or prepaying your cell phone, you have to have infrastructure behind that with those companies that are providing those services. Has that been the key for you guys?
Yes, and we've been partnered up with a federal bank based out of Texas since 2001, and they've been wonderful as a partner with us. All our back end is tied into one environment, so when you do become a member, you automatically get a virtual bank account, so to speak, where you can do all those services in one area. We're adding now. We've been talking with several carriers domestically to allow people to activate phones that they may have laying around and go on a month-to-month plan. But once you're a member of our system, you can just log in and do any one of the services that you need. And our goal is to try to offer as many services as we can to help the unbanked, the underbanked, and obviously students are a big priority for us right now. There's several 100,000 students that are here, foreign students that come here for education and don't know how to deal with certain things. They're not familiar with our banking system. Through our platform, they'll be able to, and they're currently doing it now, they're able to whether they apply for a card or not, they could just go on our machine or go on the website and take care of any single service that they need, whether it's contacting their family, they're contacting their friends, buying international airtime, paying their bills, even buying food, the discounted food environments at their college and universities on our machines.
The interesting part of this is you've made some real headway here in the last couple of weeks, and we were talking about, there was a big story in the news today. cruise ships, but you always hear about the passenger side of things on cruise ships, but you never hear about the people that work on those cruise ships, and how they're paid, where they come from. There's a lot of folks that just like here in Southern California, we get workers that come to the U.S. and send money back to their home. Same thing's happening on cruise lines. Didn't you guys had some pretty good headway on this on this sort of industry, didn't you?
We did. Thank you for bringing that up. Actually, we just completed 2 weeks ago a very large program that we released for employees and citizens of the Philippines, and we've opened up contracts with 37 banks in the Philippines, and we're allowing all the employment pool that works on cruise ships to come over here. They get paid once they get here. Well, obviously they're working on a cruise ship to try to help their family. So when they get here, they end up running around looking for Western Union or MoneyGram, trying to send their money back. Through our system now, each one of these employees gets our card. They get off the cruise ship. The money's already loaded on their card, and all they do is they walk down the galley. They can go straight to any computer or even on their smartphone. The cruise ships have agreed to put a computer on the cruise ship once it's docked, where they can just log in and send money directly back to their family. So we've covered, we're close to 100,000 members already who have signed up for that program alone, where wherever they are in the world, then they get paid. They can automatically transfer those funds straight back to the bank account of their family members back in the Philippines. And we plan to do that for Vietnam. We plan to do that for several other countries that we're already sending money to, like Russia, China, India. We're starting to send money into the Middle East as well, and obviously we cover all of Central and South America and the Caribbean.
Well, there's also there's a reason on the website where there's domestic services and international services. 35 past the hour. I also want to talk to Oren about locations. I hear that there's a number of locations, and we mentioned cell phones. There's cell phone activation service that you can do on the cyber thingy. Go to cyber-thingy.com. Stock symbol CYB. More of Oren Manelis and Cyber Kiosk Solutions coming up. Oren Manelis, of course, CEO of Cyber Kiosk Solutions. CYBK is their stock symbol, and cyber-thingy.com. Oren, I want to just frame this. You folks being the premier money remittance and bill pay center in the U.S. doesn't quite cover it, because you just mentioned before we went to a break about your international services. Is it more difficult for you to get international access to some of the money sending and bill paying, or once you get in the infrastructure, is it just a matter of adding those services on?
Well, we've been blessed really in our 10 years here of doing this, that we've been able to grow into the international sector with so many banks who want to be part of our network. But it does face a little bit of a challenge, because the way that we're used to doing business here is slightly different on the international platform. So our machines probably won't be hitting the international streets probably for a year, and then they'll be linked into the domestic services as well. But all in all, it's very easy for us from here, from the U.S., to be able to treat the international service environments just as easily and just as friendly as we do domestic.
Let's talk about those locations. You've got this has the potential, and of course, and I don't want you to have to project here, but this has the potential of having an impact where you could go to any strip mall, any grocery store, gas station, and have these sort of locations. Do you have kind of a footprint of what you guys are envisioning here for the States as far as putting these in, and do you have a prediction on when locations start up and how many?
We'll be launching our first round of web-based environments. Those are locations like gas stations and convenience stores and some smaller grocery chains that are running on a CPU, on computer-based customer service. We'll be launching 4,000 of those locations here next week. We have a total.
Hold on, 4,000 locations next week.
Right, 4,000 locations next week.
That's some pretty decent news. Is that a matter of pushing the button, or I guess the infrastructure has to be in place by now, and that's already right?
Yeah, the infrastructure's been around for a while. We were doing some tweaking as to just security measures that we need to be prepared for. But it's basically as easy as you say. It's just turning on the switch, launching the website, and allowing all those stores to just log on.
Okay, again, last of all, I know I can't name the company, but you guys are in negotiations with some big communications companies regarding telephone cell activations, right?
Right. What we want to do is allow people anywhere in the U.S. to just take their old phones, if they have phones lying around, or even new phones that are active right now, and be able to go to our machine and shop for new carriers and better pricing and do everything in one environment. Not have to go wait in line an hour and a half at a cell phone store or play with the internet and try to figure out what's the best program. Just go to our machine and say, this is what I have and this is what I would like. You could just list your services. I want unlimited talk, I want unlimited text, and if I want unlimited internet, you click all three, and then we give you 2 or 3 different options. You pick the one you want, you punch in your serial numbers in, and you'll be active within a couple of hours under a new plan.
Good stuff. Oren, I want to invite you back into the studio. Before let's go, one of the main reasons we have Oren on is for our American Forces audience in 175 countries and all the ships at sea. You're giving away some phone cards. You're giving away some phone time, aren't you, Oren?
Absolutely. 10 hours every time we're on your show. Just go ahead and collect from the family members of the military here in the U.S. We'll be happy to forward them 10 hours of talk time internationally.
So we're gonna split that time up, and we're gonna do it out in either vouchers or cards or something. But I've already got the minute you said that, I get emails coming in asking about the phone card. So there you go, Oren Manelis. Thanks so much, Oren. I appreciate your help, buddy.